Once again, I'm here with Don Charles, heavyweight coach, former coach of Derek Chisora, currently coaching a number of heavyweights, including Harry, including Jordan Thompson. But today, we're here to have a quick chat about Anthony Joshua v Oleksandr Usyk this weekend. Don, how do you see that going?
I say it's going to be quite a cagey fight. When the fight was initially made, I kind of looked at it and thought, it might be too much of a big jump for Usyk. His third fight in the heavyweight category. Especially when we look back at his previous performances against Ches Witherspoon was his first fight as a heavyweight, and Derek Chisora, whom I know very well, as his second fight as a heavyweight. And based on those two fights, you just can't see how he's going to jump from those two performances, which I personally was not impressed with those performances. He struggled dearly against Derek Chisora. I know styles make fights. He's in the first 4 rounds of that fight against Derek, you could see he was troubled. He was alarmed. At one point, Derek had him in a clinch and was looking to his corner and said, "What do I do here?" type of thing. Derek handled him, and it took him like up to 5 rounds to start figuring out what to do in that fight, which is what happened. And he used his boxing pedigree is unquestionable, hence why he's a gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist. He used all the experiences he's gotten from the amateur to be able to negate his way around to secure a points win over Derek. But I think it's too much of a jump from those two fights than to go into fighting someone in the caliber of Anthony Joshua. When the fight was first made, I kind of thought, too much. It will be too much for Usyk. But as the fight draws closer, you start to look at it again, and you think maybe it's not going to be such an easy fight for Joshua. Yeah, which is my opinion right now. When it first was announced, I kind of dismissed it it's going to be one-way traffic. But my views have changed over the past number of weeks. When you start to look closer, like I said, it's going to be a one technical match. Let's not forget, Usyk fought Joe Joyce in the WS series. Okay, and Joe has always been a heavyweight. So if you look at that fight to that of then, that was Joe Joyce as a heavyweight. So when you start looking at it as the fight draws closer, my views have definitely changed over the weeks. It's going to be a very tricky fight. Yeah, it's going to be a very tricky fight. Usyk is not an unconventional. Yeah, he's an unconventional southpaw. He's got intricate footwork, great boxing IQ, and he's a guy who's also a boxer who's also able to adjust during fights to make changes. Hence why during the Chisora fight, like I said, the first 4 rounds was Chisora gave him a torrid time, and he figured it out how to negate his way around to nick the fight, which he did. So when you get the type of fighter with that sort of IQ who's able to adapt, like Joe Calzaghe, people like that, they can adapt during fights. So you do start give him a good chance to perhaps pull off what will be a big upset, I would say. Yeah, I'll give him a chance. I'll give him a really, really good chance because really, I believe for Joshua to win, Joshua has to knock him out, stop him, which he's more than capable of. And if this fight goes 12 rounds, I believe Usyk will be doing something right and he will be able to outbox Joshua if it goes the full distance. Yeah, he's the better boxer out of the two. So, my prediction, if it goes to full distance, I see Usyk nicking it on points. And for Joshua to win, he has to, I'm afraid, stop Usyk, which he's more than capable of.
Yeah, the old adage comes to mind, does a good big un beat a good little un?
Not always. That's generally, not always. Not always. It depends on how good that little un is. Like I said, if you go back and compare his fights, Usyk's fights he has fought heavyweights. like I said, in the WS series, he did very well. I believe he beat Joe Joyce on a split decision. Yes, he did. So he's, although he hasn't looked fantastic at the previous two heavyweight fights he's had recently, I think Joshua's style, because Joshua is going to be very cautious, yeah, which is what might play into Usyk's hands, because Chisora ambushed him. He literally rushed in. Joshua doesn't fight like that.
So, well, not anymore.
Yeah, so exactly. So I think Joshua is going to be, which he will, he needs to be cautious with he's a southpaw. You have to really, irrespective of him knocking out Charles Martin. Charles Martin is a poor schooled southpaw, in my opinion. Flat-footed. Usyk is not flat-footed. So, it's going to be a very interesting match. I'm looking forward to it.
Don, one last question. So we're very fortunate that on Saturday night we're going to be doing a live watch-along in the studio, and I'm pleased that you're going to be joining us for it.
Yes, I will do. I'm looking forward to it.
And you're being joined by Barry Jones and Ali Drew.
That's correct.
Thanks, Don.
My pleasure.